You can only be a man, a woman, or trans. Why are we putting in cartoons trans flags? It's like a mental illness.
Jeffree Star recently shared his opinions on the trans community, hell, really the LGBTQ community at large. And while the internet is split, there's a bigger conversation that needs to be had. So today I want to unpack what exactly Jeffree Star said, why it matters, and what people are missing from this conversation in totality. Who is Jeffree Star? So if you're unfamiliar with who Jeffree Star is, he's a entrepreneur slash beauty mogul who first gained attention back in the early 2000s on MySpace, which that's when I first discovered Jeffree Star, honestly. And he built a massive following with music and his pretty much his bold personality. After MySpace, he later transitioned into YouTube, becoming one of the biggest people on the platform. And I'm talking 30 million subscribers and well over 10 billion views across platforms. Since then, he's launched several different very successful businesses, like his yak ranch. He lives out on a farm and he has a bunch of yaks and raises animals. And then his makeup brand, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, that has just blown up too. He owns a lot of businesses. He is filthy loaded, filthy rich, and he's been a very pivotal person inside the LGBTQ community, which is why we're making this video, which is why his opinions matter so much and hold so much weight, because he is this pivotal moving force inside the community, and he's saying things that honestly need to be said. It is nice, it is honorable, it is so just great to see someone that mainstream, that popular, that famous, to have the same views as like me and many of you guys watching this video right now, who are saying the things that many are afraid to say because they don't want to be called canceled, they don't want to be hated on, they don't want to be fired. There's a lot of stuff that happens when you have the views that I have or that Jeffree Star is saying, or the views that you're thinking about. And I'm glad he's here giving a voice to so many people who feel like they really can't express their opinions to their full capability. Because in this world that we live in, especially in the United States that relies so heavily on identity politics, it does hit a little different, like when I'm talking about racial issues or gay issues, because obviously black and gay, and the people on the left go towards that identity route, like, well, we need to hear from black voices. Okay, well, here you go. And the same thing can be said for Jeffree Star, where you're having this very sexually ambiguous, like, identifies as a man but wears the heels and the long hair, that kind of person having the most sane views ever. It's so dope to see. But regardless, that's a little information about Jeffree Star. If you're unfamiliar with who he was, or you're seeing him around and you really just didn't know, that's who he is. Now let's get into some of the things that he's been saying recently online.
You really think psychologically you were born in the wrong body. Unfortunately, it's like a mental illness. But people hear illness and they just have a full spiral. So this new age of weirdos and predators trying to pretend they're trans or pretend they're this and harm women and children, that's my issue.
And that's a lot of people's issues. I feel like more often than not, the average person out there really isn't transphobic. They're just against being in the women's spaces and the targeting of children. For the longest time, trans people have been around, maybe not in this capacity, maybe not this many, but they have always been around. They're cross-dressers, but they've just always minded their business. But now you got people acting crazy. You got people bringing attention. You have people targeting minors, targeting the women, like making it their sole goal and purpose to be disruptive. That's people's goals, and that's the unfortunate part, and that is the part that's making people lose so much respect for the LGBTQ community at large.
Piece of shit named Lilly Tino,
Point
who's
A.
pretending to be trans, and recently went into the women's restroom at Disneyland. Disneyland's for children. Yes, there's adults that like Disney. We know that. And the camera's rolling. I'm sorry, there's a 7-year-old that just walked behind you. Why the f are you in a little training bra and lipstick, clearly with a man's voice, in the women's restroom filming?
Why? That is what people are upset about. And being upset at that doesn't make you transphobic. Calling out this behavior, this full old man walking into the women's bathroom with a training bra, bulge, deep voice Adam's apple, taking pictures and videos, that's disgusting. Go in and leave. Taking pictures, making videos. This is what it's like being trans in the women's bathroom. Why? At that, like Jeffree said, Disneyland, Disney World is for children. Why are you going? I'll show the clip for those who haven't seen it, but why are you, Lilly Tino, making it your prerogative to explain getting gender reassignment surgery with Disneyland food at a table surrounded by children?
I'm gonna get banned from Disney. I swear, we're about to get banned from Disney. Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some...
You can hear children in the background. You start off the video with, I'm gonna get banned from Disney. You should. And saying that isn't making me transphobic. It's saying this is just deranged, weird, decrepit behavior.
Hair regrowth on my marshmallow wand. That's bad because the outside of the wand is what becomes the inside of the tunnel. So you don't want hair growing there or else it's very uncomfortable. So I talked to my surgeon and he said that it would be best to postpone the procedure until after hair removal.
We're done. We're done. That's Lilly, Tino. That's the example that they're talking about. And actually, this person did make a response video to Jeffree Star. So let's go ahead and give that a watch.
So there is this piece of Lilly, Tino, who is pretending to be trans and recently went into the women's restroom at Disneyland. Disneyland's for children.
I took those photos with a very clear goal in mind, which was to show a non-passing trans woman existing peacefully in a bathroom.
You shouldn't be non-passing in a women's bathroom. The only people that deserve to be, not deserve, but like, well, yeah, deserve. The only people that deserve to be non-passing in a women's bathroom is a lesbian. A lesbian, a butch lesbian, because yeah, for some people they get a little uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, they have a vagina. They're meant to be there. I really do think bathrooms, if they are more like the group bathrooms, it's based off of sex. That's it. Now for me, I love the bathrooms that are like single, like the Buc-ee's where you have your own little stall, or like Starbucks bathrooms. Those are the best bathrooms to take a shit in on a road trip. Starbucks and Buc-ee's, top tier. I love those bathrooms the most. But off the bat, this person's admitting, yeah, I just want to show what it's like being non-passing in a women's bathroom. Why are you treating that like a flex? It's not. It's disgusting.
There are a lot of opinions out there, especially from people like Jeffree, that we're faking it, that we are, just in bathrooms to cause trouble and hurt women and children. And none of that's true. It's ridiculous.
You can't say none of that's true. We've seen the cases where there's trans women in there with a full stiffy recording women in a dress. We see the cases where you have trans women in the locker room swinging around, women, actual biological women getting uncomfortable, calling it out, and then getting kicked out the gym. We see these things happening.
It's like we are in the bathroom for the same reason as you. So it begs the question, how do we solve the problem of people see us, they're afraid because of what they've heard, it's not actually true. How do you change people's minds? That's why I posted the pictures, right? Like, yes, I knew it was going to be shocking. Like, I knew. I wasn't just trying to make people mad. I was trying to expose them to something that over time I want to be normal. I don't want to have to walk into a bathroom and feel...
Y'all, what sense does that make? You knew what you were doing. You knew you were being controversial. You knew you would get a rile out of people. In what sense is that normal? If you want to be normal, you would just go in and out. You would treat it like normal. It's not normal for women to be posting all these pictures in the bathroom. I mean, it is. They take the cute selfies and the cute pictures, but you were doing it alone with the purpose of like riling people up. It wasn't just like, oh, looking cute. No. At that, you're in Disney World, not like a club bathroom.
I don't want to have to walk into a bathroom and feel afraid.
Now they do women.
Where people get tripped up on, oh, this is rage bait. No, it's not rage bait. It is something that you're not used to seeing. It is a conversation that is being intentionally started to get you used to ideas you're not familiar with.
Rage bait. Rage bait. This person, they went on the hiatus and now they're back. I have a whole video on this Lilly Tino person. If you don't know who this is, you want a more deep dive into this trans content creator, be sure to watch the other video. I'll put it like right here, up here, wherever it goes. That's another video that you could watch, but this is all just nonsense, much like the modern day razor industry. But thanks to today's sponsor, Henson Shaving, they cut out all the BS and left us with a razor that doesn't irritate your skin, saves you money, and stands the test of time. Instead of adding gimmicks, they had aerospace engineers design a razor that's pure precision. No marketing fluff, no innovation that's just there to lock you into another cartridge refill. None of that nonsense. And as someone with sensitive skin, it's cool to see the research that shows Henson's razors causes significantly less irritation compared to the drugstore multi-blade razors. And honestly, I never really understood why things kept getting more complicated. Vibrating handles, heating strips, 6 blades stacked like a panini press. Like it's doing the most. It's too much. Because they've been doing all that, but for some reason the shaves have never gotten better. Hell, it's almost like the goal wasn't really to improve the product. It was just to keep you locked in, to make sure that you keep buying more of it. And trust, it's not minimalistic for the aesthetic, it's minimalistic for the purpose. I didn't realize how much I hated razor burn until I stopped getting it and stopped expecting it from a shave. Like, oh, I'm shaving, which means my skin's going to be irritated. I have to do this and that. No, that shouldn't be the norm, and it's not with Henson razors. So if you want to upgrade your grooming routine, be sure to go to hensonshaving.com/Amir Odom, or just use code Amir Odom at checkout. And by using that link or code, you'll get 100 free blades, which is over 2 years worth of shaving with the purchase of a razor. Just make sure that both the razor and the blades are in your cart at checkout, and you'll be taken care of.
You can only be a man, a woman, or trans. I am not gay. I am just open and very me. There's obviously a lot of gay people out there that only like a certain thing. That's great. LGB is it. Q and T, get off the alphabet, sweetie. You should be in your own category.
The TQ plus has nothing to do with the LGB. LGB is what? Sexuality. You either like what you have, like what you don't have, or like both. That's it. Because at the end of the day, your TQ plus is the identity side, and no matter what your identity is, you either have a pole or a hole, or a surgical modified pole or a hole. You got one of those, and that's where, like, you know, the pansexual, like Jeffree Star isn't gay. Jeffree Star bangs women too. If you don't want to believe it, you don't have to, but that is the case. This man is into everything. I'll give room to like lesbian, gay, bi, LGB, and I will give room for asexual, which is like you're just not sexually attracted to anything. If we're talking about sexuality, if you're just not sexually attracted to anything. Asexual, and then pansexual, you're attracted to everything, including the trans people. Because for me, even by myself, like, I'm personally not gonna be into like a trans woman, even though they have a pole and I like poles. I don't like that whole package we got going there, and there is a term for that, so I will allow room for that. Other than that, your identity is just your identity, and it needs to be separate.
Okay, let me break it down for you straights. Lesbian, gay, and bi. Is that not a sexuality?
That's a sexuality, yes.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
What you think your identity is has nothing to do with what you're sexually attracted to.
Nothing.
So why is T and Q on LGB? And what fuck that means. LGB, gay, lesbian, and bi, that is your preference of who you are attracted to and what you like.
And in large part, that really is it. Like I said, I'll give room for the asexual and the pansexual, but even then, that's just like more so on the rare side. But typically, you either like what you don't have, like what you like, or like both. That's it. LGB, and we move on about our day like we have been for the years leading up to gay marriage equality. After gay marriage equality, we should have stopped there. All the gay rights and the protests and the pride parades, we should have just toned it down. Because we got what we wanted, we were seen as normal, we were seen as a part of society, and kept it pushing. But for some reason, after 2019, I've been saying this, y'all, we see a plummet. Where that plummet coming from? Boom. We got a whole new flag. The LGBT flag is not the same flag that I had when I was in high school. It's all these different colors. There's pink and brown and circles and triangles. What are we doing? When I was growing up, it was the LGBT community. Now it's the LGBTQIA+. What? Why? It's literally different. It's different. You go on any of these nonprofit websites, Trevor Project, Glenson, GLAAD, all these gay organizations. Yeah, they used to be just gay. Now it's all trans focused, queer focused, identity focused. It has nothing to do with the average gay male. They've left us in the dust. And speaking of left us in the dust, I'm pretty sure it was Dave Chappelle that has that funny bit on the trans community and the queer community. It's like, what are y'all doing? Like you're making people look at anything remotely gay and say, F it. You are. It's this TQ plus community that is bringing everything remotely, like gay relations, just downhill. And I'm tired of it. And it makes me very, very glad that we have someone at this level, like a Jeffree Star, calling it out for what it is and being truthful. We need more of this. We need more people vocal, including you. I know you're doing what you can, and you speak around to your friends every now and then. You maybe, or you share your comments online. Keep doing more of that. Find the friends you can have these tough conversations with. Go in it with grace. Go in it with love, and lead. If you have, especially if you're straight, lead with, hey, you're telling me to listen to queer voices. Here's a bunch of conservative queer voices. I think their voice matters. And if you're saying their voice doesn't matter because of how they're voting, that's inconsistent. You're telling me to listen to queer voices. I'm listening to queer voices. So what are we doing here?
Your identity issues and who you think you are is so separate. I don't agree that they should be together. Yeah. You can only be a man, a woman, or trans.
So when you say this, what's the pushback that you get?
It was like, I don't know. It was just very bizarre. but most people got it, and they were happy that someone who is a male that just does whatever the fuck they want and does look feminine is saying it. A lot of the straight community were very afraid to tiptoe around that.
Rightfully so. There's a lot of, even you guys watching this, I'm sure there's someone watching this video right now. I was like, hell no, I can't say that shit. I'm with you, Amir. I agree with you. I agree with what Jeffree's saying, but even you yourself probably feel uncomfortable in that you can't really express this to anyone that you know because of how ridiculed you'll be, or you'll be called hateful, bigoted, transphobic, the list goes on. So it does hit different when you have someone like a Jeffree Star, someone that identifies as a man, someone that identifies as a part of the LGBTQ community. You know, he's pansexual, he likes everything, but that keeps it real and blunt. People want more of that. People need that. People want more just authenticity. I'm not saying he's the most authentic person out there. I don't know him personally, but real can see real. You can recognize when someone's being real, just having a conversation, just chilling, laid back. You can. And about honestly, in this realm of this world of AI and all this fakeness, that's the only thing that is really prevailing. It's authentic voices and people who are just honest and real. So I'm very thankful to have y'all support. I'm grateful that y'all are subscribing. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video, sharing the videos, it means a lot. But let's get on to this next clip.
I'm not into all the other bullshit. I think
What other bullshit?
the they and them.
Yeah.
And all that extra shit that we added during the pandemic because everyone was so bored on their houses.
Like I said, 2019, 2020, we all see it. It's being real. I'm not saying it never existed before. It did on the outskirts. It did. When people was bored at home, we just saw everything hit the fan.
They just started to make up more shit and more shit.
More stuff.
Yeah. That's where the conservatives like me because I'm just real.
Yeah, you do have a conservative
you're not
vibe
they
to
and
you.
them. You're trans, you're male or you're female.
And it's crazy. It's like, why does that make you conservative to just recognize a male is a male and a female is a female? Why does it make you conservative to say, yeah, Jeffree Star, that's a dude. This is a very feminine dude. Why is that saying that more on the conservative or the right-leaning side? It's just real. It's just common sense.
And you're
And
standing on
people
that.
get so mad when I say that. How are you a they? What the f does that mean? It's stupid is what it is.
Yeah.
But you need someone like me that looks like me to say it. Because if you say it, it turns into you're homophobic. You hate trans people. You hate gays. And it's just how you feel. You don't hate anyone. You just think it's stupid.
It's literally stupid. It's like, to me, you're either he, she, or it. Look like a he, look like a she, or is it it? Like some people, Jeffree Star, say that's a woman. Some people say it's a man. He knows he's a man. He calls himself a man. It's just, it is what it is. And I know there's other clips out there where I think Jeffree Star was saying he doesn't really care what you call me. And even then, that still proves another point. Why do you care so much what someone calls you, especially when people getting misgendered? Why are you allowing someone else that much power and control over your own thoughts and your mind and your mood and your day? For what? Are you really that mentally weak? Doubt it. If you're watching this video, you're not. So stop allowing all these strangers to have such a huge impact on you and your life. Have more self-respect than that. Who gives a shit what someone thinks about you? Who gives a shit what someone calls you? Oh, someone called me a wrong name. Okay, bye. I don't care. The only respect that I feel like I deserve is for my friends and family who I allow into my life and who they gratefully allow me in their lives, and we have that shared respect. I have trans friends that I'm close with, and yeah, I say she, I say like her, because it, to me, again, they look like a she, they look like a her. I would be stupid if my friend Gwen went with me and her. Well, we've gone out to eat together. She beats me to the restaurant, and I'm like, hey, where's that man Gwen at? They'll be like, who? Her? Because it looks like a her. You know? So, like, there is some common sense approaches to this topic that need to be addressed. But all in all, like, this whole they, them, these, are these pronouns, no. Because it also doesn't stop. At what point does it stop? At what point are we going to start? Like, I don't want to live in a society where people are, like, getting tickets and getting fines and going to jail for not calling someone what they want to be called, because it's hate speech if you don't call me the gender or the pronouns that I wish to use. That's clownery. And honestly, those people that feel that way, they're bored. You're bored in society. We have it entirely too good. There's people literally dying on the other side of the planet right now, looking for their next meal, looking for a bomb shelter to hide in. And here you are in America, ordering your DoorDash or your Uber Eats and crying in the corner because someone said she. Be so for real.
And I pray that they find mental peace, but it doesn't matter what you have going on with you psychologically, you will always be who you were born. How is that even a debate? No matter how many surgeries I get, I'm always gonna be Jeff. Science doesn't lie. How is that a debate? So a grown man that goes around the country debating people, spitting facts, was just taken out. And I'm not over it. I can't sit here and play with makeup right now. I want to throw up. So no, I'm not a Republican. No, I'm not a Democrat. I'm Jeffree Star. Stop trying to label me.
And it's crazy too, because like, why are we putting all these labels on everybody? Now, no, if we're being so honest, none of us are 100% Republican, 100% Democrat, 100% in agreement to your spouse, 100% in agreement to your best friends. No, it's okay to have disagreements, and I lean a little left over here, a little right over here. Like, you're an individual, you're a person. In large part, there may be some agreements. Like, majority of my friends are more conservative, yeah, but even then, we have very fruitful conversations, and we agree and disagree and push back on certain things. It's healthy, it's real. But to Jeffree's point, I don't understand how just acknowledging what you were born is controversial. It's up for debate. It's science. It's there. It always will be there.
Stop trying to label me. I am a male. I am a makeup artist. I am a makeup mogul. I am a business owner. I am a farmer. I am a rancher. I am a son. I am someone's cousin. I am someone's friend. Stop labeling me. Y'all don't know anything about my beliefs. You just assume. Because I said I was thankful that Trump brought back TikTok, I'm now being accused of being a Republican.
That's so stupid to me. Like, why for you to be thankful for one thing that Trump does makes you a Republican, makes you conservative, makes you this far-right bigot by just being thankful that the president did something good? Isn't that what you want? Do you want the man in charge of this nation to crash the plane? So all of a sudden, if you on a plane and you find out your pilot's a conservative and you sitting in the back as a liberal, do you want him to just crash the plane? And just because you're happy that your conservative pilot landed that plane safely, does that make you a Republican for not wanting to crash the plane? No, it's stupid.
All I said months ago when TikTok was banned and my business could be affected tremendously, I said, wow, thank God Trump fixed it. Or I wouldn't be able to sell my cosmetics on this platform. I quit YouTube and your DNA is still who you are. And why am I saying any of this? Because Charlie Kirk fought for the rights. He fought for the truth. He debated everybody, and you guys cannot argue that.
And if anything, Charlie Kirk was the one person on the conservative side there to give you a voice and a microphone. He talked to everybody. He debated everybody. He wanted to go to the source and figure out how they personally felt. He was giving the mic to so many different trans people, non-binary people, they, thems, all across the United States. That's what he did, and he wanted to hear them out, and people took him out. And you know what? I'll have an update. We'll make another video, a little tidbit on the Charlie Kirk and TPUSA and Candace Owens, and it's gotten wild. It has. I'll leave that for another day. Be sure to subscribe. But the truth of the matter is, Charlie did lend a voice to so many people who felt like they didn't have a voice. So it's ironic. People are happy that he's got taken out when he was one of the main people out there giving you a platform and giving you a microphone. Sometimes, you guys, I don't understand it. And this topic with the trans and the LGBTQ stuff, it does rile me up. I'm not stressed. I'm not like crashing out, but it does rile me up because it's stupid. It's just common sense. You got a pole to your hole. You a man or a woman, and we go about our day. What's wrong with that? People have lost their minds. And we need to get back to a world where people are spreading facts. People are being truthful. People are being honest. No sugarcoating conversations, not being scared to bring up certain things. No, let's actually talk. Be real. Share your opinion. We need to talk these things out as a country, as society, because if we don't, it's just going to keep, like, the divide is going to keep spreading. We have to be able to have honest conversations and come to an agreement at the bare minimum on what words mean, on what language means, on what a male is, a woman is, what being gay is. But the LGBTQ community is crumbling apart inside its own little tent, its own side little club and bubble, because we have no definitions. I could have sworn gay meant biological male that likes biological male. But now I'm being told by some gay people, and especially the trans people, that no, it's someone that identifies as a man that likes someone that identifies as a man. No. Why would I get with someone that has a hole? I'm gay. It makes me, like, I feel gaslit. I feel gaslit into not being gay. I could have sworn gay was a pole in a pole, but now you're telling me I'm transphobic, I'm bigoted because I don't want to be with a trans man that has a hole? That's a whole female, dog. Like, you can't ignore sexuality. Root word sex, male, female, pole, hole. Where's the disagreement here? And if you're disagreeing, I feel like you're a little crazy. I feel like it's a little delusional here. Being totally honest here. We've got to bring back common sense, rational discussions and just being honest. We have to.
Why are we putting in cartoons trans flags and we're all this stuff that and that's my personal opinion. I don't agree with it. I think it's too young. I don't agree with 8-year-olds wearing makeup either.
Listen,
I'm one of the biggest indie beauty brands on the planet, and I don't think little girls should be glorified.
Yes, they shouldn't be wearing makeup. They shouldn't be glorified. Like, I'm consistent across the board with this. I'm against anything remotely sexual, not even just the trans stuff, but anything sexual related in children's cartoons and areas. We don't need the kissing scenes. We don't need the weddings. We don't need trans people. We don't need any of that. Let the kids be kids. I get it. There were some like child shows that had like, you know, the innuendo, like sex jokes that we're seeing now as adults. Sure, I get it. But it's never been this bad. And again, another video I'm focusing on is on the trans cartoons. There's been way more going on and all the different like injections of like in strawberry shortcake, there's literally a trans berry.
Response. Banavi, tell us why you chose this delicious dress.
As a transberry, I love living out loud as my most authentic self.
There's not even, I know that none of it's real, but like, the hell you need a transberry for in a kid's cartoon? Why? This is why people are losing respect for the gay community in totality. Something needs to be addressed with this. Something needs to be done. But again, for me, including the straights.
To look older? That's disgusting. What the f going
for
on?
me as a parent.
No, but I mean, listen, we have
if people
young...
want to do that, you do it. But
That
like
part.
for me, it's not for me.
No, I don't feel weird dancing around it. I mean, we have young children, and any parent that has young children, if you just watch them in normal, like they just want to be
Rugrats
kids.
never did this.
Yeah, they just
Brennan,
wanna
all
play.
these
Rugrats, get some-
all these shows we used to watch growing up, it was never like that. I mean, maybe there was adult jokes that we didn't fully understand, but it was never sexualized and weird and like, why does a 5-year-old watching a Netflix cartoon show need to know about that right now? Why? And then let's just really take it there.
Let's take it there.
Why are we encouraging our kids to be a different gender and feed them false information when they're so young?
Come on. What happened to the tomboys and the tomgirls? Let them be. Let a kid exist. Just because your male son likes to play with Barbies time to time doesn't mean you transition him. Put it on puberty blockers. Just because your daughter doesn't like wearing frilly dresses, doesn't like wearing leggings, wants more baggage clothes, and likes sports, like playing with her brothers and her male friends, doesn't mean you need to like, get double mastectomy, which actually does happen for minors. Get a double mastectomy, put you on puberty blockers, go about your day. No, let them exist, let them grow. It makes zero sense to me, the people that it fires me up. The people that advocate for trans children and trans youth, that's stupid. They cannot vote. They can't drink. They can't smoke. They can't even consent to have sex. So you mean to tell me they can consent to change their sex for life? The kid can't even have it. The kid cannot even consent to it. But you're telling me they can consent to change it for life. It doesn't add up.
When I grew up and I started looking different, right? My mother encouraged me to just be myself. When I started wearing makeup and being more feminine and wanting to do certain things, it wasn't, oh my God, Jeffree needs, what do they call it now? Gender affirming care. I'm done. She let me be myself. She didn't push me to be anything. Just like when you're a tomboy, did your mom try to, get you a surgery to be a, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
No.
Did she cut your tits off because at 13? That's not, no. So nowadays it's all these fucking weirdos telling their kids, oh my God, you like a Barbie? You're a woman. No, that's just a little boy experimenting, not knowing what the doing.
That's all it is. All it ever has been. But now, truly, like I said before, these parents low-key are homophobic to the point where they'd rather have a trans daughter than a gay son. I'd rather you at least play the part socially. I'd rather you at least be a woman that likes a man than be a man that likes a man. Let the kid be a kid.
So why do you think that there's people out there trying to do that to their kids?
I don't know. And I feel uneducated in that aspect because I am not a parent, right? And I don't fully grasp why. Why can't kids just be themselves and then figure it out when they're a little older to really make real decisions? Why are we, at 12, my daughter thinks she's a boy. We're doing surgery, we're doing steroids, we're doing testosterone, I just think, and then their bodies are so not even developed yet. You're fucking with all the chemicals, and I just think we're gone down a bad path.
I think we are going down a bad path, and I think it's very not responsible and low-key, not a low-key, high-key, it's abusive. It is child abuse to be transing children because you're affecting them for the rest of their life with irreversible damage on some of these children out there. On a decision, in large part, they couldn't even consent to make themselves. It's their parents and doctors following the doctors. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you're always right. Hello, look at 2020. Let's end this idea that, a doctor said so, that means it's 100% right. No, that's not always the case. And some of these doctors have it all wrong regarding these trans children. And we're going to look back on this and be like, why the hell were we actually transing children? That's disgusting. Leave the children alone. Saying that's disgusting, saying leave the children alone isn't being hateful, isn't being bigoted, isn't being transphobic. It's being like acknowledging that they're children. If you're an adult, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. These children, leave them alone. If I look out my window right now and I see my neighbor beating their child, not a whooping, not a spanking, beating, I can call the ops and CPS and that child be taken away for child abuse. But now all of a sudden, the same parent can just take that kid to a hospital and get their breasts removed because they don't like how they're feeling in their body when they're 12 going through puberty. It doesn't make sense, you guys. It just doesn't.
Yeah, that the pronouns and the they, thems, it was invented during the pandemic. I know that he knows that that's not true, but he must feel that the audience will believe that is true, or the audience, at least, even if they don't believe it's true, will still like hearing it.
Why is it always about catering to an audience when a more center right, or like someone who's not staying inside the box of what the LGBTQ community is supposed to be and act like? Why, when someone calls out something, they're just doing it to appease their audience? They're just doing it for clicks, they're doing it for clout, doing it for money. Why can't it never just be their opinion? The average person out there understands what Jeffree meant when they said people were bored and it all just popped up in 2020. No one's saying it was literally invented then. We know it's existed for a long time, but we all, this is fake. It's fake. When you sit back and you're just real and you're just honest, you can be like, yeah, I peeped that. I do see some changes in 2019, 2020. I can identify when things really went downhill, like all the charts show. I can identify when all the they, thems, non-binaries, all these different pronouns started coming about. We can acknowledge that's been happening the last 5-6 years. Why? Because all of the older millennials, older Gen Z, we were once in high school. We were once in middle school. We didn't have them they, thems and non-Zers and all this crazy shit. We didn't. I had a cross-dresser in my school. I did, but he went by him. Like, it's just being real. You can be honest without having to always, like, this scapegoat, just say they're just catering to their base. Why are we not allowed to have our own feelings and views on topics and issues?
It's had this like kind of conservative rebrand thing where I feel like it's less about the makeup now and more about he has a lot of guns.
I saw the pink Beretta.
When he shared that he got this customized gun, the gun company posted it to their Instagram and there were thousands of comments being like, the gun world has gone to shit. And it's like, wow, Jeffree Star, as much as you're trying to appeal to these people, this is their reaction.
Maybe that proves your point in another perspective, that he doesn't care what they think. If you're saying he's doing this for the approval of other people and conservatives, and then we see some conservatives out there on this gun page ripping wild and protesters are so angry at him, maybe that shows he just genuinely does not care. Maybe that shows he's willing to say whatever he wants to say, knowing people on the left and the right ain't gonna like him in totality. Maybe that shows what he's saying, what he's doing isn't for the approval of those people. It's for him. Jeffree is a rancher. Jeffree is a farmer. He likes guns. A gun company partnered with him. Boom. It's natural. It's real. That's what irritates me the most. One of the things that irritates me the most about this topic is that it's as if gay people aren't allowed to have a separate opinion than the mainstream narrative. And the second you deviate from that, boom, self-hating gay, internalized homophobia, catering to your base. We see the same thing racially. Oh, Amir, you're just an Uncle Tom. You're catering to your base. You're a coon. You're this, you're that. I'm an individual. I have my own views, my own beliefs. I'm fully independent. I've turned down many offers. I've turned down viewings and partnerships and money. I do this for me. It just so happens there are millions of you guys out there that support me. And I'm thankful for it. I am. It means the world to have your support. It means the world to have this platform to put out what I think, and I'm glad what you think, is common sense opinions and views. But all in all, I'm very glad that Jeffree Star has been more vocal with his opinions. He always has been. But I'm glad he's being more vocal. He's doing these podcasts and he's just saying it for what it is. And because we know it hits, these things do hit different when they come from someone like him. When the call comes from inside the house, it hits different. It does. Because especially when we're being told, listen to queer voices, listen to gay voices. Okay, we are. And then the second we are and you don't like it, oh, they're just a self-hating gay. You're listening to the wrong gay voice. No. Which one is it? Do you want us to listen to gay voices? Do you want us to listen to other black voices? Or do you want us to listen to the opinions that only you have and hold? Which one is it? You got to keep it real. You got to keep it consistent. You got to keep it honest. That's all that I'm pushing for and all that I'm fighting for on this channel and in this world. And I'm glad that Jeffree Star is a part of that. And he's being real. He's being honest. And he's pushing back against all this nonsense. So, of course, I'd love to know your opinions below in the comment section. Do you agree with Jeffree Star? Did you not know who he is? Do you feel like a lot of this is common sense? And if you're straight watching this video, is the assessment that me and Jeffree made true? Where you feel like you can't voice your opinions as much as you may want to because you will be called the homophobics, the transphobics, and you're scared of losing your job and you might not want to ruffle the feathers with all your friends? Let me know. But regardless, I hope that with this platform that I have and this channel that you guys watch and love and support and follow and like and share, I hope that I'm giving you the tools that you need in order to share your opinion from a rational perspective. I do. I hope that you're gaining the courage to talk to more of your friends and you're picking out people who to push back on and have these really like hard conversations. I hope you're doing that. Because we're not going to go anywhere if we're not talking, if we're not communicating, if we're always just scared to ruffle feathers or walking on eggshells around people. No, we have to be honest. We have to keep it real and we have to be open. So I can only hope that you're doing that. And additionally, outside this video, I don't know what's going on in your life right now. And whoever needs to hear this, it's for you. Whether it's family drama, life drama, friendship drama, your job's driving you crazy, you're trying to get your side hustle up and started, a dog, health issues, personal, like whatever it is, you will get through it. It's called going through it for a reason. You're not stuck there. You will survive. It is just a storm. It's a season that you're in, but this season that you're in is not going to last forever. Whatever job you're in is not going to be your forever job. If whatever like you've got going on, that isn't the end of your life. Even like people that are older that are following me, like 55, 60, 65, your life isn't over. There's so many things that you can do right now in order to pivot and make a change in your own life. But you only can do that if you have the hopes, you have the aspiration, you have the positive energy, you're speaking highly over yourself, good thoughts, and locking in total vision, focus on you and only you. You'll get there. You'll achieve your goals and dreams. You'll do whatever you need to do to be successful. Why? Because you're someone that's watched this full video. And anybody who watches Amir Odom, selfishly, I'm going to say it. If you sitting here and you eating the bed, you on the couch, you cleaning the dishes, you running errands, whatever it is. If you watching this video, you here right now and it's me and you a real one. Ain't nothing come your way that's going to knock you down. You're going to get your ass back up and you're going to keep on going through it. So, hell, with that being said, I can only hope that things are getting better for you. And if not, do what you need to do to take care of business and go about your day. So with that being said, love you guys a ton. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share the channel. It means a lot to me, and I will see you in the next video. Deuces.